Okay, welcome to the 8th episode of the Josh Job Search Online Hangout series, which I've been conducting different places online. Zoom this evening will be, or today we're on YouTube Live. I'm Jacob Shea, of course, creator of JobMob. Today is the first time in the series, which has been going on now for the past few months, that I'm hosting an episode by myself. And of course, there's a special reason for that. If you've come here today, then you probably know, which is that I'm going to do a walkthrough of the job search events calendar that I've added to JobMob, which has taken a lot of work to put together and has ongoing work to continue adding events to it. So you can see it here on my left, and we're going to take a deeper dive into it right now. If you have any questions, ask your questions. If you're watching this as a replay and you have any questions, you can, of course, add them in the YouTube comments below, and I'll get to them when I see them. So let's just jump right in here, and I will put the calendar on full screen. So this is the job search events calendar. As you can see, there are two ways of getting to this calendar from JobMob. You can click the top nav up above here where it says events, or on every page of JobMob in the sidebar, you have an upcoming events widget where you have the next few events that are coming up on the calendar. So the calendar is meant to be something that's extremely valuable in the sense that people more than ever right now with coronavirus are trying to stay at home, obviously, and most events, because of social distancing and other kinds of restrictions, are just being held virtually, as we know. And so the idea of this calendar is to concentrate all or as many events as possible in one place, so that you can decide at any moment to check this calendar, see what's coming up, and then decide if you want to attend an event, if it's relevant to you, if it's something that interests you. So let's take a look at how it works here. Now, the calendar has a number of views. By default, it's on this weekly view where you can see the current week. The yellow day is the day that we're on, of course. And as you can see, it looks like an agenda. I'll go a little bit lower here. You can see there's a legend. The calendars are organized. Sorry, the events are in the calendar are organized according to categories. There are 8 different categories currently, each one with its own color. And you can see the color coding here in the calendar itself. Now, it's true that this is an agenda. And so it looks like it's organized according to time. However, there is one caveat right now, which is that at the launch of this calendar, it's not aware of time zones, in the sense that if you check an event, it will tell you which time zone the event time corresponds to. But this agenda, the calendar itself, it cannot tell you. So, for example, this 9 a.m. event is UTC -4, whereas this 12 p.m. event that's in the Toronto time zone, which is actually also UTC -4. So that actually works. Here, that one works. Let's look for a different. Here, this one's UTC -6, and so that means that this event over here would actually take place just before this event over here. Sorry, yeah, that's right. Anyway, so it's a little bit confusing, but the whole point is that it's all organized in one place. And that the idea is that you can click through to an event, which we'll do in a second, and you can get the right information to decide if you want to check it. Well, and as you have just seen, I can just hover over an event and get a brief preview of what that event is. And then I can decide if I want to click further and check out all the details. So just one thing that I've already mentioned, the color coding here. Another thing that you'll see in the preview. So you may have an image for the event. You'll have the title of the event, the date, the time, and the time zone. And then you can see in this event specifically, there's a little blue icon, which is kind of hard to read, but that's basically a free emoji. That means the event has no price, whereas this event has a $, so that event is a paid event. There is one other, and you can see another one over here. There is another emoji or icon that you will see occasionally, which is when an event has been recorded, and that will happen. So here, let's go back to the previous week, and we'll just try to find one. Basically, you can see, let's see, is there one here? No, these events tend to be recorded. Let's see, where's there one here? No, not that one. No, not that one. And this one. Yeah. Okay. So here there was an event. This is actually an event that I was interviewed as a part of, and you can see there's a little emoji that looks like a cassette tape. That means that this event was recorded. So I'll click through to show you what that means. So now we're taking a look at the actual event page. You have the title of the event. Because this event was in the past, so it says this event is over. Here you can watch the recording for the event. And then you have the information for the event, which of course is no longer relevant because the event is past. But if you want to see what the event was about, then you can take a look here. Every event will tell you where it's taking place. Right now, the events are all virtual, but eventually, hopefully, COVID will end and we'll go back to having real world events again. And in that case, then you will have physical locations here, and maybe even a map will appear. But for now, they're all online events. So this one was LinkedIn Live. You have all the date information. There's a link where you can check where the event took place in your own time zone. It will tell you if the event requires registration. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Again, if there was a cost, and then there'll be a link to the official event page where you can get all the details. Every event has, as we already saw, it has a category which has a color coding that appears in the calendar itself. But you can click through to the category and see other events in that category. If you're interested in learning about a certain topic, according to the category, you can do that. And then there are some event tags. You can search by free events and by recorded events. If you want to watch, if you have some time, you want to see what's been recorded and you just want to watch events that have already taken place, then you can just click through to the recorded events and choose based on that. Now, because again, this is a past event that was already recorded, so you actually, if you had attended the event, or even if you had it and you watched the recording, you can rate the event and you can leave a comment below with giving your feedback on the event. Now, let's take a look at an event that's going to happen in the future. So here we go. Okay, so this event is coming up later today. And the main differences with a past event is that there's no recording. Obviously, it hasn't taken place yet. But otherwise, the event information is basically the same that you would see for an event that has already taken place. And where things change is actually at the bottom. In this case, you're not going to be able to leave a rating or feedback because the event hasn't taken place. However, you will be able to ask a question in the comments if you'd like to, or maybe even point out an error if you wanted to. You can do that as well. If you ask a question about the event, I'm trying to get event organizers to pay attention to the calendar so that if there are questions, they can respond here below. Or if there's any kind of feedback as well, they can respond here below in both cases. So, so this is what an event looks like, an event that has yet to take place. There is one thing I didn't mention here, which is that you can add an event. This is only for upcoming events. You can add the event to your calendar if you know how to import iCal information, which is kind of a basic standard at this point for adding information to calendars. So that's what an upcoming event looks like, and we already talked about past events. Is there anything else that I need to mention? As though we talked about how they find the events. One thing I would encourage people to do is, of course, use social sharing buttons if they want to tell people about events that are coming up. It's a good place to do that. You can also, of course, bookmark events, just like you can bookmark anything. I think that is it in terms of the walkthrough. Are there any questions? I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll give people another minute to ask a question if they have it. Let me just change the view here again. Put myself back on the screen. Here we go, make it a bit bigger. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this was because very often I find that from my own experiences attending events, very often the event happens and it's great or it isn't great, whatever it is what it is. But all too often, the events once they're done, that's it. It's gone. And so if you missed it, you missed it. And I really wanted to make a tool here with the recordings and with feedback that would allow the information to live on longer, because a lot of these events they're really great events, and it's a shame that the people who were only there, actually, I should say the people who were there were the only ones who got to benefit from it, when frankly, some of these events have valuable information that will continue helping people, or could continue helping people for years, frankly. And so, and nowadays, you can find events recorded on YouTube, of course, but in general, it's not so easy to find events from like past events. And so here I'm hoping to create a resource that's a centralized place for events, and especially recorded events. But yeah, the idea is really to help job seekers learn, not just now in COVID, as I mentioned, hopefully when things are over and we go back to having more real world events, then the event calendar will continue living on, and with that information as well. Hopefully there will still be recordings. In general, I find that after speaking to many event organizers so far, there are already over 500 events in the calendar, including past events. And so I've spoken to a lot of organizers already. I'm getting feedback about things that can be improved as well. And yeah, they people are so used to events happening and then that's it, they're gone. And so this idea of making them live on is something that's really I've seen that's really appealing to people. And people who haven't planned the recording events are now going to start recording events. And so already right now there are I'm back. I think I left the studio by accident. So I'm back. I was just saying that I've been really heavily encouraging event organizers to record their events. Doing it more and more. And so yeah, and so here we're back to the recorded events page. So far you can see there's already almost there's well over a dozen, but there's almost 20 events here that have been recorded, and we're adding more all the time. And again, event organizers have promised me they're going to be recording events, and so this page will get longer and longer to the point where maybe it'll become unmanageable. So that'll be something that I'll have to worry about a little bit later. But anyway, okay, so I think this has gone on long enough. If anybody has any questions, it's now's the time to ask, or forever hold your peace, as they say. Although again, you can of course add questions in the YouTube comments down below afterwards, and I will be happy to respond to them. So thank you for watching, and yeah, looking forward to the next Josh Hangout, and maybe next week or the week after. And watch for it. I'll be publicizing that later. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.